Look at this. This isn't a movie. This is the UK switching off in real time. And what happened next is the bit nobody talks about. Welcome back to Charlie Survival. I want to talk about something that's been sitting heavy with me since the storm hit. Because I've lived in the UK my whole life and I've never experienced winds like that. Not here, not like this. And the scary part isn't just the wind, it's how quickly normal life collapses around it. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I saw firsthand, what it means, and exactly how to adapt to extreme wind in the UK without panic and without fantasy. Quick one, comment below if you felt this storm where you are, and subscribe if you want calm UK realistic prepping and survival that actually fits normal homes, normal budgets and real British weather. Right, let's go. Your winter warning. Back on 27th of November, I uploaded a video titled Warning, this UK winter may be one of the worst in years. I didn't say it to be dramatic, I didn't say it because I like fear, I said it because the signs were there. And since then we've had snow, we've had storms, we've had disruption, and then the UK got hit with winds that didn't just feel rough, they felt violent. And when wind turns violent, it changes the rules, because wind doesn't just push you around, it turns your environment into a weapon. Moment 1, the grid failing. Let's start with what shook me first, the grid. The power lines were arcing and sparking and catching fire in the dark. And you could feel it, the unstable flickering any second now feeling. At home our power was flickering, and anyone who's experienced that knows what your brain does instantly. You start doing the maths. Is my phone charged? Can I cook? What if it goes off tonight? What if it goes off for 3 days? And that's the point. Most people in the UK don't realise how thin the layer is between normal life and we're making it up as we go. Now here's the part you need to understand. In winds like this, the emergency services can't always move normally. Engineers can't always get to faults. Trees come down, roads block. And that's how a local problem becomes a regional one. So the first lesson from this storm is simple. Lesson 1, assume the grid is fragile in extreme winds. Not because the UK is weak, but because it's a complex system and wind attacks the system everywhere at once. Moment 2, the shops closing. But honestly, the flickering power wasn't the moment that unsettled me the most. It was 4 PM. 4 in the afternoon and the high street shut. People were standing outside, confused, looking around like, wait, where do we go now? And I remember thinking, this is it. This is what not prepared actually looks like. It doesn't look like riots. It looks like normal people suddenly realizing they don't have a plan for dinner because they've always relied on a system being open. The UK has become a just pop to the shop country. Just in time food, just in time medicine, just in time everything. But when the shutters come down, you learn something brutal. Lesson 2, the system can close early. Not tomorrow, not in a crisis, today at 4 PM. And if you're stood outside a locked supermarket in dangerous wind, you're already late. Moment 3, the wind missile reality. Now let's talk about the wind itself, because people hear 90 mile an hour, 123 mile an hour gusts, and they just imagine it's hard to walk. No, you need a different mental model. In those winds, normal objects become missiles. A roof tile isn't just a tile anymore. A sign isn't a sign. A plank of wood isn't a plank. They become fast, sharp moving projectiles, and this is the bit most people don't respect until they see it. If you're outside in that kind of wind, you're not brave enough. You're walking into shrapnel. So here's the rule. Lesson 3. Extreme wind turns your environment into a weapon system, which means your goal isn't bravery, it's shelter. The bug out trap. Why leaving can kill you. And this is where I need to say something that might annoy some people. In these conditions, bugging out is often a trap. Because your car isn't a bunker, it's a lightweight box on rubber tyres. Crosswinds on exposed roads, bridges, coastal stretches, that's where accidents happen. And even if you're the best driver in the world, you can't negotiate around a fallen tree, a flying panel, a sudden gust, or a road blocked by debris. So here's what I believe this storm taught a lot of people. Lesson 4. In extreme winds, hunker down beats get out. Not forever, not for every scenario, but for violent winds, your safest move is usually to stay put and ride it out. The shift. Okay, so what do we do? So what do we do if the shops can close early, if the grid can flicker off, and if the air itself can hurt you? How do you adapt? You don't need a bunker, you need a winds plan, and I'm going to give you one that fits a normal UK home. The UK winds plan 5-step hunker down system. Here's your simple system. Step 1. Decide your safe room. Downstairs if possible, away from big windows, a place you can sit, sleep and stay warm. Because if something hits the house, a tree limb, tiles, debris, you want to be in the most protected part of the building. A good drill is to know where the big trees are around you and keep an eye on them. Step 2, light. Head torches beat phone torches because hands-free matters. Have a head torch plus spare batteries and a backup torch. Step 3, heat. Not heat the whole house, that's a losing game. Heat one room. Blankets, sleeping bags, hot water bottles, layers. Make it boring, make it effective. Step 4, water and hot drinks. The kettle doesn't work without power, so you need a way to boil or at least stay hydrated and warm. Even just having stored water and a way to make hot drinks changes everything psychologically. Putting the kettle on and filling a few thermoses the moment you get a warning or the power blinks can save you wasting valuable energy, and you have hot water ready to go if the power does go. Step 5, information. When it's stormy, rumours spread faster than facts. A basic radio, charged phone, power bank, so you know what's happening and you're not spiralling. A waterproof pair of PMR 446 walkie-talkies are a great asset to keep in contact with your family or a neighbour if signal goes or your phone stops working. By the way, if you want the exact stuff I recommend for this, torches, power banks, radio, water, warmth, I put it all in my Charlie Survival Amazon kit list. It's linked in the description and it's built for UK homes, UK laws and UK weather. Right, next part is the one nobody prepares for, the breach. Because wind doesn't just turn the lights off, it can breach your home, tiles come off, glass can go, conservatories get hit, cars on driveways get damaged. So you need a breach kit, not forever repairs, just stop the weather coming in until you can get help. Here's the simple UK breach kit. Heavy duty plastic sheeting or a tarp, strong tape, storm tape or gorilla tape, a utility knife, gloves and eye protection, a few timber battens and screws, a cordless drill charged, rubble sacks. And the breach method is simple. Plastic plus tape plus clamp. Cover the hole with plastic sheeting and overlap it generously. Tape it down, and if it's still windy, clamp it with battens screwed into the frame so it can't rip loose. And for the car window, plastic sheet plus tape is enough to keep rain out short term. This is the difference between being comfortable and being in a full-blown mess. The first 30 minutes checklist, no panic. Now I want to give you a checklist for the moment it starts getting serious, not a fantasy checklist, a real one. If the wind ramps up and warnings hit, charge everything. Power banks too.
On your phone?
That's an alert, that's an Amber Alert.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an alert.
Everyone's phone's going on.
Mine ain't.
Fill water containers, even if it's just bottles. Put torches and head torches where you can grab them. Bring outdoor items in, chairs, bins, anything that can fly. Shut internal doors because it reduces wind pressure if glass does break. Park your car away from trees if you can do it safely early. Eat a proper meal while you still can. Get cash out before the storm if you're low, ATMs can go down. Put shoes by the bed, glass is a real risk. Pick your safe room and commit to staying put, and if the light flickers, unplug sensitive electronics. Don't wait to just see what happens. Act early while it's easy. The real message, the UK is no longer safe. So when I say the UK is no longer safe, I don't mean you need to live in fear. I mean the old assumption is gone, that the shops are always open, that power always stays on, that storms are just a bit of wind. This winter has shown something different, and I've never experienced wind like this in the UK, and whether you call it climate change, global warming, or just unsettled weather patterns, the practical response is the same. Adapt, quietly, calmly, competently, because storms don't care about optimism, they care about preparation. If Storm Goretti has taught me anything, it's this: you don't prep for doomsday, you prep for 4 PM when the shutters come down and you realise you can't just pop out. So do the basics, get a winds plan, get your light, heat, water and info sorted, and ride these events out safely. If this helped, hit like and subscribe, because this channel is about staying calm in chaos, UK style. And check out my Charlie Survival Amazon kit list in the description if you want the exact gear I recommend for storms, blackouts and winter disruption. Comment below if you felt this storm firsthand and what was the wind speed where you are. Now if you want the next video to pair with this one, watch this one on screen now, because it covers the risk that comes with being the prepared one on your street. It's a controversial one, but it's important. Stay prepared, stay wild, and click the video and I'll see you over there.